Episode 6 of Maxton Hall Season 2 just dropped the most shocking twist that no one saw coming. Everything Ruby and James built together is now completely destroyed. And what happens next will leave you speechless. The Season 2 finale starts exactly where Episode 5 left us hanging. Lexington saw something on his phone that completely changed his expression. From happy to deeply worried, and now we finally know what that message was about. It was a warning from someone close to the Beaufort family telling him that Mortimer is planning something terrible against Ruby. But before Lexington could do anything to stop it or warn James and Ruby, it was already too late. Mortimer had already made his move and the damage was done. The photo that James took in Season 1, the one where Ruby and Sutton appeared to be kissing, is now everywhere. Mortimer leaked it to the school administration, to Oxford University, and even made sure it reached the media. Within hours, Ruby's entire reputation is destroyed. Everyone at Maxton Hall is talking about her. Students are whispering behind her back. Teachers are looking at her with disappointment. And the worst part is that even her own parents believe the photo is real at first. Ruby's mother is heartbroken and her father is furious because they trusted her completely. And now they feel betrayed. Ruby tries to explain that the photo is fake and that it was taken from a misleading angle. But no one wants to listen to her side of the story. The situation gets worse when Oxford University sends her an official email saying that they are reconsidering her scholarship and admission because of this scandal. This is the moment Ruby realizes that everything she worked so hard for is slipping away from her hands. All her dreams, all her efforts, and all her sacrifices are being destroyed because of one manipulated photo. And the person she blames the most for this disaster is James. Ruby believes that James is the reason this happened because he was the one who took that photo in the first place. She does not want to hear any explanation from him. She does not want to see his face, and she definitely does not want him anywhere near her life anymore. James tries everything to reach her. He calls her multiple times, but she does not pick up. He sends her countless messages explaining that he had no idea his father would do this, and that he took that photo long before they were even together. But Ruby is too hurt and too angry to listen to anything he says. She blocks his number and refuses to meet him. James is completely devastated because he knows that Ruby is suffering because of him and his toxic family. He knows that his father is the one behind all this cruelty. But Ruby is not ready to separate James from his father's actions. She sees them as the same because the photo came from James' phone, and that is enough reason for her to push him away forever. Meanwhile, Mortimer is sitting in his office feeling proud of what he has done. He believes he has finally succeeded in breaking his son's relationship with Ruby and destroying her future so she can never come near his family again. He thinks this will force James to forget about Ruby and focus on the family business and marry someone from their own social class. But what Mortimer does not realize is that this cruel plan is going to backfire in the worst way possible, because James is not the kind of person who will just accept this quietly, and Lydia is not going to stay silent either after seeing what their father has done to an innocent person. Elaine, on the other hand, is also making her moves. She is using the photo that Cyril gave her, the one where Lydia is kissing Sutton, to blackmail Lydia into doing what she wants. Elaine tells Lydia that if she does not stay away from Sutton, and if she does not help her get back into James' life, then she will make that photo public and destroy Lydia's reputation just like Ruby's reputation was destroyed. Lydia is terrified because she knows that if that photo gets out, her father will find out about her pregnancy and her secret relationship with Sutton. And she knows exactly how her father will react to this news. He will disown her, he will destroy Sutton's career, and he will make sure that both of them suffer for going against his rules and expectations. But Lydia is also not the same person she was before. She has grown stronger throughout the season and she is not going to let fear control her decisions anymore. She knows that Ruby is suffering because of a lie and she cannot let an innocent person take the blame for something she did. So Lydia makes a brave and life-changing decision. She decides to tell the truth to everyone no matter what the consequences are. She is going to reveal that she is the one who was in a relationship with Sutton, not Ruby. And she is going to announce that she is pregnant with his child. This decision is going to change everything, and the aftermath of this revelation is going to be more intense and dramatic than anyone could have imagined. Lydia gathers all her courage and calls for a meeting with the school administration and the people who were involved in investigating Ruby's case. She stands in front of everyone with Sutton by her side and makes the announcement that shocks the entire room. She tells them that the photo of Ruby and Sutton was completely misunderstood, and that Ruby had nothing to do with Sutton romantically. She explains that she is the one who has been in a relationship with Sutton for months now, and that she is carrying his child. The room goes completely silent. No one expected this revelation. The administrators are stunned and the few students who were present cannot believe what they just heard. Lydia continues speaking with tears in her eyes but with a strong and determined voice. She says that Ruby is innocent and that her reputation was destroyed because of a mistake and a manipulated photo that had nothing to do with reality. She demands that Ruby's name be cleared immediately and that Oxford University be informed about the truth so Ruby can get her scholarship and admission back. Sutton stands next to her, holding her hand tightly and supporting her decision, even though he knows this announcement will bring serious consequences for both of them. Within minutes, the news spreads like wildfire across the entire school. Everyone is talking about Lydia's confession. Some people are shocked, some are judging her, and some are finally realizing that Ruby was wrongly accused all along. But the person who is most affected by this news is Mortimer Beaufort. He hears about Lydia's public confession while he is in a business meeting, and he immediately leaves everything behind and rushes back home. His anger is uncontrollable. He cannot believe that his own daughter, the one he always thought was obedient and perfect, has been hiding such a huge secret from him, and not only that, she made it public in front of everyone without even thinking about the family's reputation. When Mortimer reaches home, Lydia is already there waiting for him because she knew this confrontation was coming. The moment Mortimer enters the house, he starts yelling at her. He calls her irresponsible, reckless, and a disgrace to the Beaufort name. He asks her how she could do this to the family and how she could ruin everything they built over the years. Lydia tries to explain that she did it to save Ruby from suffering because of something she did not do. But Mortimer does not care about Ruby or the truth. All he cares about is his reputation and his control over his children. He tells Lydia that she has destroyed the family's image and that he will never forgive her for this. The argument gets more and more intense. Mortimer's words become harsher and more hurtful. He tells Lydia that she is no longer his daughter and that she has betrayed everything he taught her. Lydia is crying, but she is also standing her ground. She tells him that she is tired of living under his control and that she is done pretending to be someone. She is not just to make him happy. She says that she loves Sutton and that she is going to keep this baby no matter what he thinks. Mortimer is furious, and in his rage, he says things that no father should ever say to his daughter. He tells her that she is making the biggest mistake of her life and that she will regret this decision forever. The fight reaches a breaking point when Mortimer tells her to leave the house if she wants to continue this relationship with Sutton. Lydia is heartbroken, but she does not back down. She tells him that she would rather leave than live in a place where she is not allowed to make her own choices. But just as she is about to walk out of the room, something terrible happens. Lydia suddenly feels a sharp pain in her stomach. Her face turns pale and she struggles to stand. She holds her stomach and realizes that something is very wrong. Sutton, who was waiting outside, hears her scream and rushes inside. He sees Lydia collapsing and immediately calls for help. Mortimer stands there frozen, not knowing what to do. Within minutes, an ambulance arrives and Lydia is rushed to the hospital. Sutton goes with her and Mortimer follows behind, but the guilt and fear are starting to show on his face. At the hospital, the doctors take Lydia into the emergency room and everyone waits outside with fear and tension. Sutton is pacing back and forth, praying that Lydia and the baby will be okay. Mortimer sits on a chair with his head in his hands, realizing that his anger and his words might have caused something he can never take back. After what feels like hours, the doctor finally comes out, and the news is heartbreaking. Lydia has lost the baby. The stress, the emotional trauma, and the intense argument caused a miscarriage. Sutton breaks down completely. He cannot believe that they lost their child. Mortimer is in shock, and for the first time in the entire season, he looks truly broken. He realizes that his obsession with control and reputation has cost him more than he ever imagined. While Lydia is in the hospital, recovering from the devastating loss, James is dealing with his own battle. After finding out that his father was the one who leaked the photo and destroyed Ruby's life, James cannot stay in that house for even one more second. He packs his things and leaves without saying a word to Mortimer. He goes straight to his aunt's house because he knows that Ruby will not let him come near her and he has nowhere else to go. His aunt welcomes him with open arms and understands why he had to leave. James is completely heartbroken because he has lost the most important person in his life and he does not know how to fix it. He keeps trying to reach Ruby, but she has blocked him completely. He writes her letters, but she does not read them. He goes to her house, but her parents tell him to leave because they believe he is part of the reason Ruby is suffering. James feels helpless and guilty even though he knows deep down that he did not intentionally cause any of this. Meanwhile, Ruby is trying to pick up the broken pieces of her life after Lydia's confession. The school administration and Oxford University were informed about the truth. Ruby's name was cleared and her scholarship was reinstated. But even though the truth is out now, the damage has already been done. Ruby's confidence is shattered, her trust in people is broken, and her heart is completely destroyed because she pushed away the one person who truly loved her. Her parents now understand that the photo was fake and they apologize to Ruby for not believing her at first, but Ruby is still carrying the pain of everything that happened. She feels betrayed, humiliated, and lost. And even though she knows that James was not directly responsible for what Mortimer did, she is still not ready to forgive him because the photo came from his phone and that is a fact she cannot ignore. Days pass by and Ruby tries to move on with her life. She focuses on her studies and tries to prepare herself for Oxford. But no matter how hard she tries, she cannot stop thinking about James. She misses him even though she does not want to admit it. She misses his voice, his smile, and the way he made her feel safe and loved. But her pride and her pain are stopping her from reaching out to him. One day, Ruby receives a letter. It is not from James, it is from Lydia. In the letter, Lydia explains everything that happened. She tells Ruby about the fight with her father, about losing the baby, and about how much she regrets not speaking up sooner. She also tells Ruby that James has been suffering every single day since the photo was leaked, and that he had no idea his father would use that photo against her. Lydia writes that James loves Ruby more than anything in this world and that he would never intentionally hurt her. She asks Ruby to give James one chance to explain himself because he deserves to be heard. Ruby reads the letter multiple times. Tears roll down her face as she realizes how much pain everyone has been through. She feels guilty for not listening to James when he tried to explain. She feels sad for Lydia, who lost her baby because of her father's cruelty, and she feels confused about what she should do next. Should she forgive James and give him another chance? Or should she move on and protect herself from getting hurt again? Ruby is torn between her heart and her mind. At the same time, Mortimer is facing the consequences of his actions. Lydia refuses to talk to him after losing the baby. She blames him for everything and she has made it clear that she wants nothing to do with him anymore. James has completely cut ties with him and is living with his aunt. Mortimer is left alone in his big empty house with no one by his side. For the first time in his life, he is realizing that money and power cannot buy love, respect, or family. He is starting to understand that his obsession with control has destroyed his relationship with both of his children. But the question is it too late for him to change, or has he already lost his family forever? Meanwhile, Elaine is also facing her own downfall after Lydia's public confession. Everyone now knows that Elaine was trying to blackmail Lydia with the photo. Students and teachers are looking at her with disgust and disappointment. Her reputation is ruined and she has become the person everyone wants to avoid. She tried to destroy others but ended up destroying herself in the process. As the days go by, Ruby finally makes a decision. She cannot keep running away from her feelings and she cannot keep punishing James for something his father did. She realizes that James is not Mortimer and that he has always been there for her even when things were difficult. She remembers all the moments they shared together, all the times he supported her, and all the sacrifices he made just to be with her. She knows that he made a mistake by not deleting that photo, but she also knows that he never intended for it to be used against her. Ruby decides to meet James and give him a chance to explain everything. She sends him a message asking him to meet her at the place where they first started falling for each other. James sees the message and his heart fills with hope. He immediately agrees to meet her and he prepares himself for what might be the most important conversation of his life. When they finally meet, there is a long moment of silence between them. Both of them have so much to say, but they do not know where to start. James is the first one to speak. He tells Ruby how sorry he is for everything that happened. He explains that he took that photo during a time when he was jealous and angry, long before they were together. He admits that he should have deleted it, but he forgot it was even there. He tells her that he had no idea his father was monitoring his phone and that he would use that photo to destroy her life. James says that he understands if Ruby cannot forgive him, but he wants her to know that he loves her more than anything and that he would do anything to make things right. Ruby listens to him carefully. She can see the pain and sincerity in his eyes. She tells him that she was hurt not because he took the photo, but because she felt like his family was always going to be a threat to her happiness. She says that she was scared of being dragged into the toxic world of the Beauforts and losing herself in the process. But she also admits that pushing him away was the hardest thing she ever did because she loves him too. She tells him that she missed him every single day and that she does not want to lose him again. James takes her hand and promises her that he will never let his family come between them again. He tells her that he has cut all ties with his father and that he is ready to build a life with her. on their own terms without anyone controlling them or manipulating them. Ruby smiles for the first time in weeks. She hugs him tightly and they both cry tears of relief and happiness. They know that the road ahead is not going to be easy, but they are willing to face it together. Meanwhile, back at the Beaufort mansion, Mortimer is sitting alone in his office staring at old family photos. He looks at pictures of James and Lydia when they were kids, smiling and happy. He realizes how much he has lost because of his need to control everything. He picks up his phone and tries to call Lydia, but she does not answer. He tries to call James, but his number is blocked. Mortimer feels something he has never felt before, true loneliness and regret. For the first time, he understands that he destroyed his own family with his own hands in the hospital. Lydia is slowly recovering physically, but emotionally she is still broken. Sutton is by her side every single day, taking care of her and making sure she knows that he is not going anywhere. He tells her that they will get through this together and that one day they will have the family they always dreamed of. Lydia holds his hand and thanks him for staying with her even when things got so difficult. She tells him that she does not regret her decision to tell the truth because it was the right thing to do. But she also says that she needs time to heal from everything that happened. Sutton understands and promises to wait for her as long as she needs. One day, while Lydia is resting, she receives an unexpected visitor. It is her father, Mortimer. He walks into the room looking completely different from the powerful and confident man he used to be. He looks tired, broken, and guilty. Lydia does not say anything at first. She just stares at him with cold eyes. Mortimer sits down next to her bed and for the first time in his life, he apologizes. He tells Lydia that he is sorry for everything he said and everything he did. He admits that he was wrong and that his obsession with control and reputation destroyed the people he loves the most. Mortimer tells Lydia that losing the grandchild he never got to meet made him realize how much damage he has caused. He says that he does not expect her to forgive him right away, but he wants her to know that he is willing to change and that he wants to make things right. Lydia listens to him, but she does not respond immediately. She has heard empty promises from him before and she is not sure if she can trust him this time. She tells him that words are not enough, and that if he truly wants to make things right, he needs to prove it with his actions. She says that he needs to accept her relationship with Sutton, respect her choices, and stop trying to control every aspect of her life. Mortimer nods and agrees. He knows that he has a long way to go before he can earn back his daughter's trust, but he is willing to try. After Mortimer leaves, Lydia feels a strange mix of emotions. Part of her wants to believe that her father can change, but another part of her is still hurt and skeptical. Meanwhile, James and Ruby are slowly rebuilding their relationship. They spend time together, talk about their future, and make plans for when Ruby goes to Oxford. James tells her that he will support her no matter what and that distance will not change how he feels about her. Ruby feels grateful to have him back in her life and she promises herself that she will never let pride or fear come between them again. But just when everything seems to be getting better, another twist happens. Ruby receives a call from an unknown number. When she answers, the person on the other side tells her something that shakes her to the core. The voice says that Mortimer is not done yet and that he is planning something new to separate her and James once and for all. Ruby's heart starts racing. She immediately tells James about the call and they both realize that even though Mortimer apologized to Lydia, he might still be trying to control James' life from behind the scenes. James is furious. He decides to confront his father one last time and end this toxic cycle forever. He goes to the Beaufort mansion and walks straight into Mortimer's office. He tells his father that he knows about the new plan and that if he does not stop now, he will lose both of his children forever. Mortimer looks at James with a tired expression and for the first time, he does not fight back. He tells James that he is done trying to control him and that he has finally realized that his actions have only brought pain and destruction. He says that he made mistakes and that he is trying to fix them, but he understands if James does not believe him. James looks at his father and sees a broken man who has lost everything because of his own choices. He tells Mortimer that he wants to believe him, but trust is earned, not given. He says that if Mortimer truly wants to change, he needs to leave Ruby alone, accept their relationship, and stop interfering in their lives. Mortimer agrees. He tells James that from now on, he will respect his decisions and that he will not stand in the way of his happiness anymore. James leaves the mansion feeling a sense of relief but also caution because he knows that changing someone like Mortimer is not going to happen overnight. The season finale ends with Ruby and James standing together looking at the sunset. They have been through so much pain, betrayal, and heartbreak, but they are still standing strong. Ruby tells James that no matter what happens next, they will face it together. James kisses her forehead and promises that he will never let anyone hurt her again. The final scene shows Lydia walking out of the hospital with Sutton by her side. She looks at the Beaufort mansion from a distance and takes a deep breath. She knows that her life is going to be different from now on, but she is ready to face it. And in the last shot, Mortimer is seen sitting alone in his office, staring at a family photo. Realizing that power and control mean nothing if you have no one to share your life with, the season ends with hope, healing, and the promise of a new beginning for everyone. What do you think about this intense season finale? Will Mortimer truly change, or is he still hiding something? And what will happen to Ruby and James when they face new challenges in Season 3? Tell us your thoughts in the comments. And make sure to like the video and subscribe to our channel for more Maxton Hall updates.